Hello and welcome to another edition of Y-PAC Check-ins. I'm your host, Sean Davido, and today I'm joined by Dave Brown, the Water and Irrigation Manager for the City of Yakima. Thank you for joining me today, Dave.
Hi, Sean.
Now, you've received a very prestigious award recently. The Water Department has, not you necessarily, but a lot of your work is behind it. So can you talk about that a little bit and what that award means? It's a 10-year achievement award, isn't it?
Right, and we started this program back in the early 2000s. And what it is it's a process where the state sets up a set of goals that are beyond the drinking water rules, the maximum contaminant levels, and these are just goals. And it gives something for the operators to have pride in, to shoot for, make sure we have the best water quality that we can. So we started that back in the early 2000s, and then we had a small hiccup in our operation 4 or 5 years ago where it interrupted the process and we had to start over. So we've actually been doing this for over 10 years. It starts out with a bronze award, then a silver award, and now we have the 10-year gold award. So we've treated water to a higher quality standard for 10 years now. And it's just something that we like to work as a water plant operators, like to strive for the best water they can.
Right, and this is a wonderful thing for the community. This means that our public drinking water, the water that you get out of your tap and use for your houses, is of the highest quality, correct?
That's correct. It's a measure of the clarity of water is what really it's based on. There are some other stringent applications in here, but most of it has to do with the clarity of water. It's to make sure we get rid of all the dirt and the bacteria or protozoa that might be in the water.
Now let's talk a little bit about some of the processes that go into achieving this award. How has your water department gone through these processes over a decade to achieve this award?
Well, there are 7 operators at the water plant. They all work together in trying to make this happen and make sure they set each other up at shift changes, so we have the next operator can just continue on with the program and is not surprised by anything. So it's really up to the operators out there. They've all decided they want to get into this program. They bought into this, and they do that whatever they can to make sure that we have the best quality water we can. If things are starting to go haywire at the plant, they'll shut the plant down if they have to and let that water go by till they can get some water that they can treat better.
Now let's talk a little bit about operations. Tell people where the diversion dam is. A lot of people don't know a lot about how the system works. Can you talk a little bit about the City of Yakima's water system?
Well, the part that we're going to talk about mostly is Natchez River Water Treatment Plant. And the plant itself is out Highway 12 going towards Natchez. It's about halfway between the City of Yakima and Natchez. If you know where Kershaw's Fruit Warehouse, it's right across the street. And then just upriver from that is our intake structure on the river, and that's right across from where PP&L used to make power. It was put there on purpose, so we got water out of the Wapatox Canal, which is taken out above the city of Natchez, so we don't have to deal with the city of Natchez. So that's our intake structure. We start there. It's first screened for large debris and things like that out of the water, and fish. We want to make sure we not only screen fish out, but we don't do any harm to the fish. Then it comes to the water treatment plant. We add a series of chemicals, including disinfectants, and then start to treat the water. That process is called coagulation and flocculation. Then we go to the filters, which are some anthracite coal and silica sand. And they don't work like a coffee filter works. They work more by electrical charges. So dirt particles and bacteria have a negative charge to them. And our filters are like dirt. They're coal and sand. They have a negative charge. So negative and negative don't attract each other. They're like two north sides of a magnet. They repel each other. So those chemicals that I talked about, we add that to the water to change the dirt particles to positive charge. So then they go to the filter, then the positive and negative attract each other. And then we leave the plant again, we add another disinfectant and fluoride to the water, then it comes to town. And then it's part of the distribution crew that's not included in this part to make sure that water stays safe all the way to your home. Right.
Now let's talk a little bit about fluoride. People have had concerns about fluoride before. Can you talk about the benefits to adding fluoride to the water?
Well, that's probably more for the dentist to talk really about benefits. We do add fluoride to the water. In 2004, that was voted on by the public, and I think that was over 70% vote. And we built the facility to add fluoride, and we continue to add fluoride to the water at the recommended level of about 0.8 milligrams per liter. And that is just to make sure we have fluoride in our diet.
And that was voted on by the people. So that was a choice of the Yakima voting public to add that fluoride for the benefits that, as I understand, is appreciated by our dentists and our healthcare community. So,
and that Centers for Disease Control also contributed to the cost of that.
Now, Dave, I know you guys are doing a little bit of promotions. This is part of the promotions effort through our community relations office. Can you talk a little bit about the Water Wednesdays and some of the stuff that's going on with that?
Well, Water Wednesdays are going to be some promotional activities that are going to come out from your office, the public relations office, promoting our drinking water. The first one that came out was a deal on fluoride, where we put a little graphic together and posted it on the social media, and it'll be on our website too, just to promote drinking water and just to talk about all the aspects of our drinking water in Yakima.
Right, because our drinking water is some of the cleanest in the state, and I would venture to say some of the cleanest in the world, and that's a wonderful thing for our community. Other communities around the country have had some issues with things like that, correct?
Well, when you think about all of the cities that are in the United States, and we've had a couple instances, mostly in Michigan. Flint, Michigan was the most recent one. And that's a pretty small percentage of all of the drinking water systems in the United States. That says a little bit of something about water professionals around the United States. We do have enjoy some of the best water quality in the world. We have some pretty stringent standards we have to go through to make sure that water quality is good. And part of that is so when you go to Toppenish and visit your friends in Toppenish, you can be assured the water is safe to drink in Toppenish.
Yes, my family is actually from the Lower Valley, so I do enjoy the water in Toppenish every once in a while. So let's talk a little bit about conservation. I know we have talked about this over the years. The system in Yakima and some of the replacements, and that doesn't necessarily have to do with the award, it's more with the delivery, correct? We save quite a bit of water in Yakima, correct?
Well, we're pretty low water use in Yakima, and mostly that's because we have a separate irrigation system for our lawns and gardens where we're not using drinking water. In most communities, the biggest use is irrigation, and we don't have that. Part of our city uses drinking water for irrigation, but the vast majority do not. So we have a fairly low per capita use compared with other communities. We also instituted things like low flush toilets. That's required by building code. We have most strainers you buy for your aerators you buy for your faucets are low use water. Low use shower heads, all of those things to try to conserve water. Conserving water then, part of that reason is not just that's the right thing to do, but it keeps our water in the bank, so when we add more houses, we have the water to serve those.
Right. And I want to again congratulate you and your staff who make this all possible to provide tremendously clean water and like I say, some great water. I have my water bottle here. It's clipping out a little bit, but I use this regularly, and I fill it with good City of Yakima water. So, oh, look at that! Too. See, and that's a great way. These water bottles have revolutionized hydration for me. I drink a lot more water, and I get to drink the high quality water that you guys provide.
Well, I think the reusable water bottle has a lot of advantages to it. Of course, we're not spending a lot for money on water. A bottle of water costs you $1.25. 748 gallons of our drinking water costs you $1.89. So there's a little difference in cost there. A few things that there's no doubt that bottled water is convenient in certain circumstances. But if you're going to use your own bottle, then you just need to be conscious and keep your bottle clean. But it is a good way to do things. I keep it on my desk. It's a good way to keep hydrated. And you see that more and more in our community. More people are doing that.
Right. And also landfill. You're not throwing away the little plastic bottles. You're not potentially littering or filling up the landfill, which is a huge, huge thing.
That's correct. Currently, the way things happened in China, where our recycling drastically changed a few years ago, there's just no place to take plastic bottles. In all the recycling centers we have in Yakima, there's no bin to put plastic bottles in anymore. Yeah,
and so we're saving the earth one bottle at a time, one drink at a time, I suppose.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground, Dave. What else would you like to talk about? What else is on your mind about water and our water system?
One of the things that it's a state mandated program, but one of the things we do is every spring we put out the water quality report. It's on our website. It's the 2019 water quality report that's on there, and we won't do the 2020 till this spring. We've got to get through the whole year so we know what's there.
Dave, let me share. I'm going to share our city website here, and we'll walk people through where they can find it. So I've got up on the screen, and this is at yakimawa.gov on the City of Yakima's website. And if you look right in the center right here is City of Yakima drinking water. If you click this, it goes to a news release about the award. And also right here
is our water quality report, and it's both in English and Spanish.
Wonderful.
And you can also navigate our website to the water irrigation division, which is under departments, and the water quality report can be obtained there also.
Right, and that's the
normal. Yeah, that's the normal pathway, is through that part of the website.
Right. Wonderful.
The water quality report, there's some mandated language in there, a little bit about water quality things we do. There's also some information about our operations, what we do, where does our water come from, how much do we treat. So you can see on that first page, our main supply is the water treatment plant, but we also have some backup wells, the airport well, Kissel well, Kiwanis well, and Gardner well. Those wells are about 1,000 feet deep, so they're pretty good water. And they're there for backup the water plant for when I talked earlier, when we have some water in the river that's not treatable, like in that picture you see right there of the river, it's pretty muddy. That's pretty hard to treat. Then we just shut the water plant off and we go on our wells. That's what they're there for. And then the report goes on to talk about certain things that are mandated. We have to tell you about what's in our water. Have we exceeded anything? And in this particular one, we haven't. Talks a little bit about what standards are, and then information about where you can get some more information about water quality from EPA and from the state. Then there's a section that really talks about lead in drinking water. And that was the issue in Flint, Michigan, was lead and copper in the water. And that's really all about corrosion in the water. So for information, more information about this water quality and this report, you can see right there at the bottom of this page, there's questions and comments, and there's a number there to get to our water quality specialist, Brandon Baker.
So we have touched a lot of things, Dave. What else do we need to talk about? What else can we tell our viewers?
Well, I think really all this, the gold award is really up to the water treatment plant and their operators and the supervisor, Jeff Bond out there, that it's really their dedication to the job and wanting to make sure they can do the best that they can.
Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Jeff and his crew out at the treatment plant out there. And I want to thank you very much for providing us with the tremendous water for our community and all that you do.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining us today.